It was the first winter of the Great War, December 1914. Along the Western Front, the promise that the soldiers would be home by Christmas had turned into a bitter lie. Instead of warm fires and family dinners, hundreds of thousands of men were freezing to death in the muddy trenches of Flanders. The space between the British and German lines, known as No Man's Land, was a frozen graveyard where bodies lay unburied and the air smelled of gunpowder and decay. The hate was palpable, and the orders from the generals were clear: kill on sight. But as the sun set on Christmas Eve, something impossible happened. Something that the generals didn't order, and history books still struggle to explain. The guns went silent. It started on the German side. British sentries, shivering in their coats and peering into the darkness for a surprise attack, instead saw tiny lights flickering along the German parapets. They were candles, thousands of them, placed on small Christmas trees. Then, a voice floated across the frozen mud, not a scream of war, but a song. Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, Silent Night. The British soldiers were stunned. Slowly, hesitantly, they began to sing back in English. All is calm, all is bright. For hours, enemies serenaded each other across the slaughterhouse of Europe, and the hate began to melt away, replaced by a strange curiosity. When Christmas morning broke and the mist lifted, a single German soldier climbed out of his trench. He had no rifle. He simply walked calmly into the kill zone with his hands raised. "Don't shoot," someone whispered. One by one, heads popped up from the trenches, and then the floodgates opened. Men from both sides climbed out into no man's land. They didn't fight, they shook hands. It was surreal. Men who had been trying to kill each other just hours ago were now sharing cigarettes, trading German sausages for British pudding, and showing each other photos of their wives and children. They realized that the monsters across the field were just men, fathers, sons, and brothers, freezing in the same mud. Legend tells of a football appearing from somewhere, and on the frozen, shell-shocked ground of France, a match began. There were no referees and no goals, just a chaotic kickabout between the Saxons and the Tommies, where laughter replaced the sound of artillery. For a few precious hours, humanity returned. They even helped each other bury their dead, standing side by side in respectful silence as they laid their fallen comrades to rest. It was a moment of pure peace in the middle of hell. But peace is dangerous to those who profit from war. When the high commands heard what was happening, they were furious. Generals issued strict orders that fraternization with the enemy was treason, and the artillery was ordered to fire again. Slowly, reluctantly, the men returned to their trenches. The handshake ended, the rifles were loaded, and the war resumed, dragging on for 4 more bloody years and claiming millions of lives. But for one night, the soldiers proved something powerful. They proved that war is not natural to the human spirit, and that even in the darkest times, light can find a way through. History remembers the battles, but we must remember the peace.